Listen, President Trump asked a bunch of us, who would you pick for Attorney General? How many of you got to ask that on our side? Probably didn't ask Dick, but he asked me. I said Pam Bondi. That's like an easy decision. I couldn't think of anybody more qualified, that he knew, that he trusted. And it's okay to have, you were his lawyer, right?
Yes, sir. I represented him when they tried to impeach him the first time as part of White House Counsel, Office of Special Counsel.
Being Trump's lawyer prepares you for many things. So, yeah, you have a longstanding relationship with the president. He trusts you. That's a good thing. That's probably why President Kennedy picked his brother, Bobby Kennedy. I guess you can say no to your older brother. I'm sure he would. But this idea there's something bad is ridiculous. Who do you pick? You pick people you know. You pick people you trust, people that you're qualified. I'm glad he picked you. He knows you, he trusts you, and you're highly qualified. So the idea that there's something wrong with that is just absolutely ridiculous. So let's talk about the job you're about to have here. Do you support making certain drug cartels in Mexico foreign terrorist organizations?
Senator Lindsey Graham used his time during Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing to strongly endorse her as the next Attorney General, pointing to her close relationship with former President Trump and her background as a prosecutor. Graham dismissed criticism that Bondi's ties to Trump might create bias, instead framing it as natural for a president to pick someone he knows and trusts.
Senator, I personally went to Mexico. I personally dealt with these cartels when I was a state prosecutor, and they are a grave and violent threat to our country. Yes,
advising the president. Good, good. Now, when it comes to Crossfire Hurricane, are those days over if you're Attorney General?
Absolutely.
Okay. Lake and Riley, are you familiar with that case?
Sadly, I am, Senator Graham.
Do you know why the man who killed her was released from custody? He was paroled due to detention capacity at the Central Processing Center in El Paso, Texas. Now, that's not your call. You'll be DOJ. But do you agree with me that the statute regarding parole doesn't allow parole to be based on we don't have detention beds? There's nothing in that statute would authorize parole based on lack of capacity. Are you familiar with that statute?
Yes, sir, and that's frightening.
Yeah, well, it's frightening. Are you going to fix it?
I am going to do everything in my power to fix it if confirmed as Attorney General.
You're going to advise President Trump we need more beds. Tom Homan's the guy that's going to do this, but would you as Attorney General say we need more bed space so Lake and Riley never happens again?
Senator, my job, if confirmed as Attorney General, will be to keep America safe.
Do you think we need more detention space?
And that includes having enough space for violent criminals, for people that should not be in this country who have committed violent crimes. And Lake and Riley is one of many.
Yeah, but 41,000 beds in this country to detain people. We got like millions of people here illegally. We let this dude go because we didn't have any place to put him. I hope those days are over. And if, Tom, you're listening out there, I hope you'll create enough detention space to make sure we don't find this dilemma ever again. Do you think we're at war? And if so, who with?
Oh, Senator, we're at war on so many fronts.
Are we at war with ISIS?
Of course, we're at war with ISIS.
They're at war with us. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, Senator.
Do you think since our withdrawal from Afghanistan, threats to our homeland have gone up from ISIS?
Yes.
Okay, March 7th, 2024, General Corella. I assess ISIS-K retains the capability and will to attack the U.S. and Western interests abroad in as little as 6 months with little or no warning. That's March of 2024. General McKenzie, ISIS-K has a strong desire to attack the United States after it began to grow in Afghanistan following the U.S. exit in August 2021. He also stated the threat to ISIS-K is growing. Major General Quantock, the U.S. remains target number one for ISIS-K. Do you agree with that?
Senator, I don't have my security clearance, but from everything I've read and heard, ISIS is one of the greatest threats.
Okay, well, when you get your security clearance, you're going to find out these people are coming after us and they want to kill us. So I would like to have a strategy to deal with the ISIS threat that's beyond just the law enforcement model. Does that make sense to you that we should use every tool in the toolbox?
Senator, that includes wrapping in our state and local officials too, and better cooperation throughout our country and our world.
I totally agree. Do you support reauthorizing FISA in 2025?
Senator, I believe 702 is up in 2026.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry,
believe it's
26.
2026, and we will closely be looking at that. FISA is a very
Do you
important
agree
tool.
that the 702 provides important intel gathering capability to protect our nation?
Extremely important.
Okay. So, Pam, you're about to step into a job that's one of the most important jobs in any democracy. Let's go back to pardons. If I'm a lawyer for somebody in jail, would you promise to listen to the application and read it before you made a decision?
Yes.
Okay. No matter who you are. Good. That's the way it works. People want to bargain with you up here. Will you do this? Will you do that? All I ask you to do is call it as you see it, hire good, competent people, and give the president the best legal advice you can. Run the Department of Justice in a manner that other people would want to join it one day. Growing up, I had a fondness for the FBI. I watched the show, I think it's every Sunday. Wanted to be an FBI agent. Right now, the FBI needs an image overhaul. So you have a real task ahead of you in two areas: to restore trust to many Americans who have lost trust in the Department of Justice, and to make sure that this country is safe from drug cartels that are killing 3,000 Americans every 2 weeks for money, to go after these people and to protect our homeland that's under siege. I think you're the perfect pick at one of the most dangerous times in American history, and I look forward to supporting you.
He compared it to President John F. Kennedy selecting his brother Robert Kennedy for the same role. Graham emphasized that qualifications and trust are the key factors, and in his view, Bondi meets both. If you value breakdowns of high-stakes political hearings like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future coverage. The questioning quickly shifted to pressing national security and law enforcement concerns. Graham asked Bondi whether she supported designating Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Bondi confirmed that, based on her experience in Mexico as a prosecutor, she views cartels as a grave and violent threat to the United States. Graham then raised the tragic case of Laken Riley, a young woman killed by an undocumented immigrant who had been released from custody due to limited detention space. Bondi called the situation frightening and pledged to work to fix the underlying problems if confirmed. Graham underscored that with millions of migrants and only about 41,000 detention beds nationwide, public safety risks are mounting. To stay updated on these debates about border security and justice policy, remember to subscribe to the channel. Graham also pressed Bondi on counterterrorism. He asked directly whether the United States is at war with ISIS and whether threats have grown since the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Bondi agreed that ISIS remains one of the greatest threats to U.S. security. Graham highlighted warnings from top military officials that ISIS-K could attack the United States or Western interests within months with little or no warning. He pushed Bondi to support a strategy that goes beyond traditional law enforcement, one that uses every available tool, including cooperation with state and local authorities. Bondi committed to working across government levels to counter the threat. For more in-depth analysis of how national security questions shape confirmation hearings, subscribe now. Another key issue raised was surveillance powers. Graham asked Bondi whether she supports reauthorizing Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which expires in 2026. Bondi responded that it is extremely important for gathering intelligence to protect the nation, but emphasized that she would examine it closely. Graham also stressed the importance of handling pardons fairly and rebuilding trust in the Department of Justice and the FBI, both of which have faced intense public criticism in recent years. He framed Bondi's challenge as twofold: restore confidence in federal law enforcement and protect the homeland from cartels and terrorists. He concluded by calling her the perfect pick at one of the most dangerous times in American history. For continuing updates on this nomination and other developments in Washington, subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.